Hi, Jim. I'm going to go over Braden's shot here. I'm going to first start off with the initial stance. Right there, we notice that he likes to start with his stick. I'm trying to get him to bring his stick back, but when he does it, it looks a little awkward. It should be back with his, let me get the telestrator here. His elbow right now goes down and back, when his elbow should look more like that, with his arm moving backwards, so the stick head would be back here. Moving forward on the video a little bit. The shuffle's pretty good. He gets good. He's got good athleticism there, but here I think is where a lot of the issue starts. Right now, if you look, this is his forward motion. This is his beginning of his forward motion, and he's got his stick up in the air there. When his stick, ideally, would be back there, that way. So the direction back there. So, like we talked about last night, as we move forward, he's got the ball in his stick. So his shot is coming kind of on a downward movement like that, starting at the top. We would rather have it come like this. So that would be the motion of his arms, of his stick as a result of his arms, and the snapping of his wrist would dictate where the ball ended up. Okay, so as we move forward with his upper body a little bit, he gets his elbow up a little late. His elbow starts down low because we have this. We talked about it yesterday a little bit. If you look in the frame right there, a little bit low up in those two frames. When we move forward, look at how he kind of hunches over a little bit. He hunches his back, and his head gets down. If he were to kind of put this part of his face mask over his shoulder a little bit in that direction, it would make his whole body get up a little bit. Because if you notice, his shoulders aren't balanced, right? I would rather see a shooter with his shoulders balanced. Now, moving on a little bit more, as we go forward, is again the high release point. Elbow comes forward nicely. Then here's a little bit of an issue. As he comes forward, right there, if we take a look at this, keep an eye on how that ends up where it is. His front arm comes through, and then he almost twists his hand back. And I call that the X, because you're almost getting literally an X between this arm and this arm. So one of the arms is coming over the other one. When what we're looking for is full rotation of the hips. So his glove, this glove right here, would be on the other side of his body. It would end up like right there. So that would mean that this part of his arm, his shoulder here, would be facing the goal more. So that's that's some of the upper body stuff that we can continue to work on. Now let's look at the lower body as we move forward. My biggest issue with the lower body is, so he's got a decent shuffle, comes a little high, but that's okay. As he steps too far. Right there, he's not really generating power because his foot is all the way out there. So now, all of the force of his forward momentum is going to be acted upon by his leg, which he bends a little bit, and that leg kind of pushes him back too much. And this leg in the back kind of looks like it kind of dies out, and it just stays there rather than coming all the way through.